Good morning. It's Miss Lupa. And today I'm going to be reading Stand Tall, Molly Lou Melon. So, if you look, the author of the book is Patti LaValle, and it's illustrated by David Cottrell. So, Patti is the author. She's the one that wrote the book. David is the one who drew the pictures. Now, based on the cover of this book, raise your hand. Well, I guess you shouldn't raise your hand. Let your parent know, whoever's with you, do you think this book is fiction, which means false, or nonfiction, meaning that you can learn from it and there's facts in there? So let's look at it. Let your parent know, and I'll tell you at the end of the book. All right, so this title of the book is Stand Tall, Molly Lou Melon. This is one of my all-time favorite books. The illustrations are very beautiful, so I'm just going to move a little bit closer. Molly Lou Melon stood just taller than her dog and was the shortest girl in first grade. She didn't mind. Her grandma had told her, "Walk as proudly as you can and the world will look up to you." So she did. Molly Lou Melon had buck teeth that stuck out so far she could stack pennies on them. She didn't mind. Her grandma had told her, "Smile big and the world will smile right alongside you." So she did. Molly Lou Melon had a voice that sounded like a bullfrog being squeezed by a boa constrictor. She didn't mind. Her grandma had told her, "Sing out clear and strong and the world will cry tears of joy." So she did. Molly Lou Melon was often fumble-fingered. She didn't mind. Her grandma had told her, "Believe in yourself and the world will believe in you too." So she did. Then Molly Lou Melon moved to a new town. She had to say goodbye to her grandma and all of her friends. And start at a new school. On the first day of school, Ronald Durkin called her "Shrimpo" in gym class. When the game started, Molly Lou Melon caught the football, ran under the legs of Ronald Durkin, scored a touchdown. All the children thought, "Wow, she's good." And Ronald Durkin felt very foolish. On the second day of school, Ronald Durkin called her "Bucky-toothed Beaver." Molly Lou Melon took out her pennies, stacked 10 high on her teeth, and smiled as big as day. All the children smiled with glee, and Ronald Durkin felt very foolish. On the third day of school, Ronald Durkin said, "You sound like a sick duck. Honk, honk." Molly Lou Melon sang out a quack, so clear and strong that it made Ronald Durkin somersault backwards, hit his head, and have to go to the nurse. All the children cried with joy to be free of Ronald Durkin for the rest of the afternoon. And Ronald Durkin felt very foolish. On the fourth day of school, Ronald Durkin said she'd made the snowflake all wrong. But Molly Lou Melon opened up her paper and revealed the most beautiful snowflake of all. All the children oohed and ahed, even Ronald. On the fifth day of school, Ronald Durkin brought Molly Lou Melon a stacking penny for her tooth and smiled at her. That night, Molly Lou Melon took out a pencil and paper and wrote a letter to her grandma. Dear Grandma, I wanted to tell you that everything you told me was exactly right. Love, Molly Lou Melon. And look at her grandma with that cat. What a beautiful story. It's definitely one of my favorites. So, today we're going to be practicing something called inferencing. So I have a little sign for you guys instead of writing all over the board. And it says infer. Infer. Readers use clues in the story to help them understand what is happening. So you're going to take clues from the book and you're going to kind of make a conclusion. You're just going to kind of put it together to try to figure out what's happening. So I'm going to give you guys an example. I'm not going to tell you what I'm cooking, right? But I want you to use the clues. So, Miss Lupa's in her kitchen and she peeks into the oven and I see hot, melty cheese and I smell the pepperoni. The smell's just coming out of the oven and I'm drooling all over myself. So use the clues. Something's in the oven. We know it has cheese on there. And you smell pepperoni. What do you think I'm cooking? Obviously, I'm cooking a banana. Okay. I'm cooking a pepperoni pizza. I never said I'm cooking a pepperoni pizza, but we're taking the clues that we have and we're building a conclusion. Say, build a conclusion. Let's try it again. Build a conclusion. And one more time. Build a conclusion. So we're building a conclusion. I'm gonna tell you guys another one. Okay. So Miss Lupa walks into an ice cream parlor and an ice cream shop. I guess I'm an old lady and I use the word parlor. I walk into an ice cream shop and there's a screaming child and he's crying and he's covered in tears. And next to him is ice cream on the floor. What do you think happened? Why do you think the child is crying? Do you think he's crying because his tooth hurts? No, there's no clue saying that the child's tooth hurts. The child is probably crying because his ice cream's on the floor and he went there for ice cream. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to infer. We're going to draw a conclusion from Molly Lou Melon. So today's activity looks like this. It says readers infer to help them understand what is happening in the story. Do you think Ronald and Molly Lou Melon will be friends now? What makes you think that? So it's up to you. You might think they're going to be friends. You might think they're not going to be friends. It's up to you. But you have to use clues from the book to support your thinking, okay? So I'm going to guide you guys through this just a little bit less than last time because we're growing as writers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my lines because our handwriting is definitely something that we want to work on. I'm going to scoot my chair over here. And I'm going to make my lines. Ooh, goodness gracious and gracious. That is Not good. All right, so I've made my lines. Now, we want to use academic language when we write. So pretty much what that means is I want you guys to use the fancy schmancy words I'm teaching you. I don't want you to just say, I don't know, I'm thinking, and I think they're going to be friends. We want to definitely use academic talk, okay? Academic speech. So I'm going to start off my sentence by saying, I infer. So we've already talked about how magical the I is. The I is always going to be capital. So I'm going to start my I, top line. I'm going down, and I'm going across. Now, you might be thinking in your head, Miss Lupa, I don't know how to spell infer. Great question, good point. Whenever I'm starting something off, or whenever I'm writing, I look at the activity. It says, readers infer to help you understand what is happening. Do you think Ronald and Molly Lou Melon will be friends now? I have so many words I could pull from on this activity sheet. So I don't have to go and ask, hey, how do you spell infer? It's right on my activity sheet. So I infer. So I'm going to start at the dotted line. I'm starting at my dot. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot my finger space. Take your finger, wiggle it around. Say finger, finger, finger space. Finger, finger, finger space. Good job. So I'm going to start at the dotted line, go down. My lowercase letters that are not tall should all touch the dotted line. My F is a little bit tricky. My F touches the top line. It's tall. I infer I'm going to do a really quick handwriting check. Yep, looks like they're all touching the ground. I'm not floating anywhere. Looks neat, and I use this spelling from my activity sheet. So I infer that. That is one of our sight words. I infer that Molly Lou Melon and Ronald Durkin will be friends. Oh, hold on, let me do a handwriting check. Ooh. Oh, goodness gracious, what happened here? My T is floating. We can't have floating letters. So let me fix my T, because all the letters need to touch the ground. Look at my H though, that doesn't look good either. I need to make sure my tall letters not only are touching the ground, but they're also touching the ceiling. Ooh, let me fix that. Let me make sure it touches the dotted line. Oh, goodness gracious. Is that a capital letter in the middle of my word? We can't do that. Make sure that's lowercase. Make sure as you guys are writing that you're checking your handwriting and your sentence structure. So I infer that they will be friends. All right, now I'm going to keep going. My T starting at the top. I'm going down. Good. Look at my letters. None of them are floating off. My tall letters are touching the ceiling. All the letters are touching the ground. I infer that they will be. Now, you might think they're not going to be friends. That's perfectly fine, but you do have to support your thinking. I infer that they will be I'm not sure how to spell that. Let me go back to my activity sheet. Oh, F-R-I? Huh. I didn't have to ask my mom. I didn't have to ask my friends how to spell that because it's right in front of me. I'm using the resources available to me. I infer that they will be friends, but we're not done yet. Because, why? Support your thinking. So I infer that they will be friends because, almost didn't do my finger space. Finger space. Because and now, I don't have another line down here, but now you have to create your inference. So this sentence is not done. This is not a complete sentence. I infer that they will be friends because. Because why? I want you to use what you know from the book. Use the clues. Why do you think that they will be friends? If you can't remember, guess what? We got a little pause button. You could replay the video and replay the story and listen to the story again. You would gather clues that way. So, don't forget though. Oh, don't forget. What should be at the end of every sentence? What is it? Make your period. Make sure you circle it so you know that you're aware of it, okay? All right, you guys, and that is our activity for today. I'll see you guys.